Hey guys, Hello Bella here. This is my 2-month update for taking Phentermine for weight loss. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I use this medicine to help me continue in my weight loss journey. I have been actively trying very hard to lose weight for about a year now, and I've lost about 10% of my body weight, and I am really struggling to find a balance and find something that works for me and something that I can afford. And so in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about how it's been going with the Phentermine and my plans about continuing forward on my weight loss journey. The first month on Phentermine was like really crazy in terms of like my appetite was very low and I felt like super hyped up. The second month, I will say, has calmed down quite a bit. I'm really not feeling that energy surge that I was initially feeling. If you don't know, Phentermine is something that basically makes you feel like you need to clean your whole entire house, makes you feel, very amped up, and it can be good to have energy, but one of the issues I had with this medication is that it was causing me to not be able to sleep because I would take it first thing in the morning when I woke up, but at night I would just have so much trouble going to sleep, staying asleep. I would sleep for 4 to 5 hours and then wake up like wide awake, ready to go. So that is one side effect that I did not really care for. I will say now, after month 2, I'm not seeing that as much, and I'm not seeing the jitters like I had before. I would get a little shaky, get a little nervous. And in terms of appetite suppression, I was taking Ozempic before this medicine, and so I've been off of Ozempic for about a week or 2 longer than what I've been on Phentermine. So I started Phentermine like directly after not being able to, well, I'm not gonna say not being able to, but I started it after I got tired of paying like $400 a month for the compounded version of Ozempic. So I wound up switching from Ozempic to Phentermine, and after 2 months, my appetite has came back very, very strong. And it's really discouraging because I can see that even though I'm on this Phentermine, the effects of being off of Ozempic and having it go out of my system now and having it just completely gone, it's really detrimental to me making progress because my appetite has just been crazy high, and I really don't understand it because I'm eating the same foods and I'm doing the same thing, and that's one thing that kind of makes me think, well, I did need to be on that medication to begin with because it was helping me regulate my appetite and my hunger levels. But with that being said, I've now been on the Phentermine for about 2 months, and month 2, I have seen a pretty big decline in the appetite suppression. It's not working as well. And so that has led me to kind of think, well, let me try to change up my eating habits to implement more protein in my diet. So that's one thing that I'm going to be focusing on, is trying to get more protein. I'm already very active. I have a job that requires me to like go places and pick things up and move around, and I'm just pretty active in my normal life, and I'm trying to do 50,000 steps per week. So it adds up to be, I think, like 7,000-ish steps per day. So that's something that I've been able to do for about the last 6 weeks consistently. And I think that that's helping me. Obviously, it's helping me burn calories and helping me stay active. But in terms of food, I just can't, I feel like I'm in an uphill battle when it comes to keeping my appetite under control. So I'm hoping that adding that protein and decreasing the carbs will help with that. So in terms of weight loss this month, when I went to the doctor for the update, they said I had lost 2 pounds, which is really, discouraging, but also, it's not terrible because I'm in the 160s right now, so it's kind of hard for me to lose any weight. The lower weight that I go, it seems the more resistant my body is. And I don't know if any of you can relate to that, but it seems like my body has a weight that it wants to be, and anytime that I lose weight, it's like it's fighting to just get back to that point that it was already at. So I don't understand why I try so hard and still struggle so much, but that's just how it's been for my entire life. I've just been struggling to lose weight and keep the weight off. But in terms of being on Phentermine has really something that's been running in the background of my day. I haven't been super focused on it. I just take it once in the morning when I wake up. Because the appetite suppression isn't working anymore, I do feel like I'm going to talk to my doctor at my next appointment about trying something else. If I had to choose a medicine and money didn't matter, I would just go back on Ozempic or Wegovy and just, call it a day. But since that medicine costs so much, I think I'm gonna have to continue trying to find something else that works for me or consider switching insurance companies for 2024. So my weight is now in the low 160s, and I did start out in the low 180s about a year ago. So I am happy with my progress. I mean, it's definitely significant in terms of weight loss, and I know that, it may be slower than what most people want, but to me, sustainability matters. It's definitely something that I've seen that if I lose weight really quickly, I'm more likely to gain it back. So right now, I'm just gonna have to continue on with what I'm doing. I don't really know what else to do. I mean, I can't have this be the focus of my day every day. I've tried weight loss like that before, and it just leads to like disordered eating and having like really negative thoughts about myself, which I would rather not do. I'm in a good place mentally, and I feel like at this point, I just have to continue tracking my calories, trying to get high protein, and trying to stay active and just having a reasonable expectation for myself. Now, in terms of my body composition, I will say that I feel like my stomach has gotten flatter, and I feel like overall my facial structure is starting to slim down a little bit more. Not anything super crazy, but I think if you hadn't seen me in a while and then you saw me, I think you definitely notice. In terms of my physique, definitely still have that weight around my stomach and my hips and thighs and things like that. But I do notice my arms starting to slim down and starting to look a little bit better. I really hope that I can continue to kind of just overall shape and sculpt my body to have it look more like what I want it to. And obviously, the less weight that you have on your frame, the easier it's going to be for mobility and just for everyday life. Another thing I thought about was maybe trying to have like a sleep study done, because I know that if you don't get proper sleep, your cortisol levels can be higher and you can just have overall more stress. And I don't really sleep that well, and I'm not sure the quality of my sleep is good. And so I've been kind of thinking about maybe asking my doctor to try to find some kind of sleep study, because I've already tried a lot of different sleep medications and they really don't help that much. They just make me feel kind of groggy the next day, so that's not something that I want to do. And in terms of my back stuff, if you're not aware, I have had multiple procedures done on my back at this point, and I've been getting the epidural steroid injections for my chronic pain. So that's another layer to weight loss. If you're hurting all the time, it's really hard to be active. And so pretty much anytime that I do physical activity, I pay for it with pain. And so I just went on a trip to DC to see my best friend, and we walked like so many steps. I think we did 18,000 steps one day, and we just stayed overall active, walking around DC and going to like the Smithsonian and the monuments and things like that. So we had an amazing time. It was super fun. But I know, if I was myself 1 year ago and I had 20 more pounds to carry, man, that would have been a lot more difficult. So I'm thinking, if I have 10 less pounds by this time next year, or even 15 or 20, that would be amazing, because as long as it's going down and I'm still making progress, I don't want to give up. I know that a lot of us, it just seems like we have to try twice as hard to get half the results. And I feel like a lot of people don't really realize what's going on. I've had a lot of comments where people say well, you should do this, or you should do that, or you're doing this wrong. And, they don't really live my life. They're not with me day to day. They don't see what I'm doing or what I'm eating. They just take a small snapshot of information and make a judgment. So I think, I'm not crazy. I think I've really got something going on. I don't know if it's a hormone issue or what, but until I can get to the bottom of that and find a way to eat that works for me, I'm just gonna have to keep trying. I'm going to see a rheumatologist next week, and they've already gotten my blood work. I saw them a couple weeks ago, so I'm going for a follow-up appointment. So I'm kind of wondering how that will go. I think with the Phentermine, I'll know after 90 days if this is something that is worth continuing. I know that it hasn't really added to a lot of weight loss for me. I mean, it may have been the thing that helped me get off of Ozempic and transition back to not having the Ozempic in my system, but overall, I don't think that it's really done much for me, which thankfully I haven't had to pay a lot of money for it. If I had paid a lot of money for it, I'd be even more upset, but I don't think that it's done a whole lot. I think it works better for some people than others. And I even noticed that I had the capsule first, and now I have the tablet. So the tablet has the little blue dots on it and it's white. And then the capsule is, I think, just maybe blue and white for me. It might not be that for everybody, but I talked to my doctor about it and he was not thinking that it really made a huge difference, but I know some of you mentioned that one or the other worked better for you. So I actually switched from the capsule to the tablet thinking maybe that will help. Maybe there's something going on where I'm not absorbing this correctly. But overall, haven't seen a big difference. I've been on this one for about a week or so. I think the Phentermine is really just a tool in the weight loss arsenal, and there's not really a lot that you can say will immediately work for you. You just have to try different things. And so I guess I'm just gonna have to keep doing that. I may get desperate enough to go back to paying for Ozempic out of pocket. I would really like to try some other avenues first because I just don't feel like it's sustainable. And if it's not sustainable, you know, why start something that you can't continue? And so after being on Ozempic for 10 months and being on Phentermine for 2 months, I've lost around 20-ish pounds. So I don't think my weight loss is insignificant. I just think it's been a uphill battle to get to this point. And I hope that you all understand that this is not a cut and dry process for everyone. Weight loss is different. And so if you are feeling like me and you're feeling kind of down and out about it, or you're feeling like, I don't know what I have to do to make this work, just stay in the fight. Don't give up. And I think that maybe eventually you will figure something out. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry it wasn't like as upbeat as usual. I guess I'm just feeling a little bit like, why is everything so hard? But yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully I have a better update for you next time. Take care.